Hey there everyone, my name is Connor Clancy. You can find me out there in the social stock realm under Ocean Trader. Today I'll be introducing you to one of my all-time favorite patterns, the bullish expansion. It's really useful, it's effective, and I think it's just super exciting and really fun to be part of. Before we start, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to my mom who actually sent me this shirt. It says, I like day trading and maybe 3 people. Now, we all know, not quite accurate. I love all of you guys out there in the trading world, but still super cool of her. So if you're watching this, hi, and thank you very much, Mom. That takes care of that. Let's hop right in and get to work. A bullish expansion is a way to know how strong a move is. I use them to identify entry points and exit points as well. I also just think they're really cool. To make this as clear and as easy as possible, first we're going to look at what a bullish expansion looks like, so you know what the goal is and really where we're headed. Then we're going to look at what you need to get there, and then we're going to recap with some examples and a little bit of application. Right here is what it looks like when a bullish expansion occurs. Essentially, the upper and lower Bollinger Bands will open up and widen and start to go in different directions. This indicates an increase in volatility. Next, you'll notice the candles right around here start to close on the upper band, and as long as they close on that upper band up through here, as you see here, that's a sign that the trend is strong and they're going to continue to close higher and higher and higher. Now, when one breaks off, see here it's red and it's closed off the band. That's an indicator that the uptime is over, the bullish expansion has ended, the candle has broken the expansion, and now the stock will most likely fall down, which is exactly what happened. Now, what you'll need to identify a bullish expansion, or if you look right down here, bearish expansion, which is the exact opposite, indicates strength in a bearish direction. You're going to need 2 things. You're going to need your Bollinger Bands, which are these bands right here, these lines. What the Bollinger Bands are a set of lines that are placed 2 standard deviations away from a simple moving average. This is your simple moving average in the middle, and then this is 2 standard deviations below, 2 standard deviations above. As the candles get closer to either the upper band or the lower band, it indicates strength in that direction. The next thing you'll need is a candlestick type chart. If you look here, these are candlesticks. They're really cool for a lot of reasons. If you're not familiar with them or aren't using them, go ahead and check the channel for a video on why you should be using them and how to use them most effectively. For now, just know that's what you need to identify a bullish expansion. You can use some other things, but this is the easiest way to do it. Now, lucky for us, both Bollinger Bands and candlestick type charts are pretty common. You can pretty much find them anywhere that offers charting or study patterns. So probably not Robinhood. So to get your screen to look like this, the first thing you want to do is go up to your studies. For me, it's right here. I'm using Thinkorswim, which is a TD Ameritrade product. It's really awesome. I have some other videos on it on the channel. If you want to go download it yourself and customize it, I have a lot of great tools on the channel for you to look back on and get comfortable with TOS, with Thinkorswim. So again, to get Bollinger Bands on the screen, we want to go Studies, Add a Study, All Studies, Bollinger Bands will be right here. So you simply just click that, and boom, they're on your screen. If they weren't already on my screen, I'll go ahead here really quick and remove them for you so you can just see that happen. They're on there a couple times now. Apply OK. And I'll change my style down to a line chart. If I can find it. There it is. Alright, so this is probably what yours looks like. So again, we're just going to walk through that. We're going to go Studies, Add Study, All Studies, or whatever it might be for you, over down to Bollinger Bands. The standard settings are fine, whatever they might be. Generally, they should all be set to the same thing, which works fine. Next, we're coming over to Style, and then in here, we're going to go over to Chart Type, Candle, and you can choose whatever type of candle you want. I usually do trend candles just like this, and I'll explain why in a different video. So as we know from earlier, a bullish expansion occurs when the candles are closing on the upper Bollinger Band. Now that we have our chart set, let's go through and look at some examples. I went to search for pictures that would make this really clear for you guys on the internet, and actually wasn't able to find any on Google Images. So we're just using live stocks from today's trading session. We're going to start with we'll look at Zoom. So here's an example. It's coming up here. Here's the bullish expansion occurring. All of these candles, when it closes off, that means the expansion's over. And if you look, that's exactly what happened. It continued straight or flat, kind of channeling. We'll go down to PRPO, which is another popular one. Here's another expansion for you guys. This is a bearish expansion. If you look right here, the candles are closing on the lower Bollinger. So how I would use this chart is I would come in and look right here and see, oh, look, we're coming up, we're hitting the average, we're closing on the band, and as we continue to close on the band, that's a bullish signal, so you could essentially enter somewhere around here and trade it up. And then right here, when it starts to close off, that's an indication that the upwards momentum is slowed, and we're going to see that sideways move. So at that point, I would watch the sideways move and look for indications on whether I want to exit or if I want to hold for the next up move, depending on what my other indicators are saying. We're moving down. We have AX, which, let's see here. Yeah, I think I had this on here for the 180. Yeah, so here we have a bearish expansion. It's just a waterfall of candles coming down. I'm sorry, I know this is really hard to look at. The gray candles indicate after hours or extended hours trading. The darker black candles indicate market action. So in here, we have another expansion coming up. It broke off a little bit early here, so, you know, it's not perfect every time, but it is a really useful indicator. Along through here, you see this is an indicator of a bearish expansion as it closes on the lower Bollinger, and boom, price fell. Moves off of that, so it breaks the expansion, which indicates the downwards momentum is over for the time being, and it moves up back to your average. Again, moving down the list, there you go, another expansion up there. And see, as it climbs up, these candles hug this band right here, really close like that until right here when they start to break off. As they break off the band, they're breaking the expansion. And then sure enough, down it falls. Never quite gets back up there, a little bit of a bearish expansion here until it crawls back up and starts closing on the top again. So essentially coming around here, I would look for 1 and 2 candles. It depends on how many confirmations you like to look for, confirmations on the trend that is, how many candles are closing on the band until in your mind it's for sure a bullish expansion. I use other indicators as well. But essentially, yeah, so we're just gonna look for those candles closing, enter, and then as it starts to close off, out here, this is kind of where I look for an exit as it breaks the expansion. Down a little bit more. See, this is one I actually traded recently. I think, let's see, 10 days is probably the best way to look at this. Yeah, so as you see, it was coming down here in its bearish expansion downwards. It broke the expansion, went up and was kind of hugging, and then finding this little channel right here. It tried to push downwards. As it didn't, I noticed that the bands were expanding earlier today. Right here and right here. This was a really quick trade. Entered right around here, rode up on these candles, and as the candles, in my opinion, with a few other indicators, started to look bearish, it was a good time to close. Going down, last one is RBZ. Again, just a bullish expansion riding it up. The candles right here are closing off. If you look, they're closing off of the band. The bands widen. That's, remember, widening here and widening here. So widening down and widening up, indicating increased volatility. Bands go up and the candles are closing on the band. Right here, they start closing off the band, which means the bullish expansion could be ending. Sure enough, it falls back down. So that's just a few examples. There's a lot more out there. As you look for these, you'll start to see them. They're really easy to pick up on after a little bit of practice. I would say go through just after close, go through a bunch of charts and try to spot them. So there you have it. Bearish and bullish expansions. Pretty awesome, right? Now, if I missed anything or you still have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. Don't forget to follow the channel, like, subscribe, more tips coming your way. If If you liked the video, don't forget to like and follow, it really helps out the channel. Come follow us on Facebook at Hang10 Trading. We do a lot of discussion there, as well as education and current market evaluations. It's a lot of fun. Make sure to stay tuned for more incoming videos, and as always, happy trading.